Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, 100% Pure Elvis. Really good to see you all again, and thank you for taking the time out to return to my channel today. On this upload today, I want to talk through Elvis Presley's 1960s album Discography, exclusively in the United Kingdom. We've got some EPs along the way. I will do the EPs last, but when we are talking about the 1960s albums, we are also including soundtrack albums and gospel albums. So obviously we're going to make a start from 1960 all the way up to 1969. Now, I'm not going to go through track listing, if you don't mind. That would take far too long. I'm going to go through them in the order that they were issued as an album, and then I will get onto the EPs, and I will share different copies that I have. So let's start with the very first one, Elvis is Back. This is the original mono copy, RD27171, RD27171. This reached number 1 in the UK albums chart, a great return to form after returning home from the army. Elvis is Back, a great front and back cover. The second copy of Elvis is Back is on the Wax Time label, and this has bonus tracks on it, but the catalogue number is 772063. So there we have Elvis Presley's first album from 1960, Elvis is Back, a number 1 album in the United Kingdom. We're going on to the first movie from the 1960s, the soundtrack to GI Blues. The copy that I have here has a catalogue number of INTS5104. It is a reissue. GI Blues again reached a peak of number 1 in the United Kingdom. Great movie, great soundtrack, GI Blues. Next, we're going on to his first gospel album of the 1960s, and that is His Hand in Mine. I've got 2 copies here to share with you. This is a reissue on gold vinyl, and that is on, let me double check what label that is for you. That is again on the Wax Time label, and then the second copy again on the reverse, that is on, let me double check, that's on the DOL label. So again, 2 copies of His Hand in Mine there. Let me get them back in its cover. Now, His Hand in Mine reached a peak of number 3 in the United Kingdom albums chart. Next, we're going on to Something for Everybody. This is the original mono pressing of Something for Everybody. The catalogue number RD27224. Absolutely love this album, Something for Everybody. I love the design of it and everything. And on the reverse, again, this is the mono pressing. Something for Everybody reached a peak of number 2 in the United Kingdom. I've got a reissue of Something for Everybody on the Wax Time label. Catalogue number 771985. 771985. Again, it does come with bonus tracks. Next, we're going on to one of Elvis Presley's best-selling albums of all time, Blue Hawaii. Here, I've got the original mono pressing. So we have RD27238. Not in good shape, this one, so I'm on the hunt for an original duplicate copy of Blue Hawaii. Absolutely love everything about the movie Blue Hawaii. Number 1 in the United Kingdom for weeks on end. One of Elvis Presley's best-selling albums. Second copy from the United States of America here. This has a catalogue number of LSP2426. That is in stereo. As he nearly drops it. Next, we're going on to, so obviously after Blue Hawaii, we went on to Follow That Dream. I'm going to go through the EPs last, as I said at the beginning. Let's get back onto the albums. Now we're going on to Potluck. Again, another great album from Potluck, was released in 1962. This is the original mono pressing, RD 27265. On the reverse, I've got 2 copies inside here of the same album. It's the same mono version, so I do house them together because obviously some of it is space warranted. But this is the original mono pressing of Potluck with Elvis. Potluck with Elvis was a #1 album in the United Kingdom. Here, I've got a copy from the United States of America. This copy has a catalogue number of AFL1 2523. Then we're going on to, obviously after Potluck, was the EP for Kid Galahad. Again, I will share that at the end. Let's get on to then Girls, Girls, Girls. So again, Girls, Girls, Girls reached a peak of #2 in the United Kingdom. And I've got 2 different copies inside. So the first copy, I have a catalogue number of PL 42354, PL 42354. And then let me get the next copy out. He says, I think, sorry, I have only got 1 copy of Girls, 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 and I've got 2 copies inside. So Girls, 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 #2 in the United Kingdom. Then we're going on to the 1963 movie. It happened at the World's Fair. This peaked at #4 in the United Kingdom. Now, the first copy I'm sharing here, again, is the original mono pressing of It Happened at the World's Fair. RD 7565. RD 7565. Absolutely love It Happened at the World's Fair. The second copy is from the United States of America. And again, this is in stereo. We have AFL1 2568. That's the stereo version of It Happened at the World's Fair from the United States of America, a peak of #4. We're going on to Fun in Acapulco from 1963. This is the original mono pressing, RD 7609. RD 7609. Again, love the movie, love the soundtrack too. Fun in Acapulco. And Fun in Acapulco peaked at #9 in the United Kingdom. The second copy, obviously, is in stereo. There we go. This one has a catalogue number. When I can find it, PL 42357. PL 42357. There we go. Next, we are going on to the 1964 movie, Kissing Cousins. Again, the original mono pressing here, RD 7645. Again, I'm not a big fan of the movie Kissing Cousins, but I really do enjoy the soundtrack to Kissing Cousins. Kissing Cousins peaked at #5 in the United Kingdom. Kissing Cousins. That's the original mono pressing. Next, I've got another copy from, let me double check. This is an import, but I'm not too sure where it's from. INTS 5108. INTS 5108. Kissing Cousins, #5 in the United Kingdom. After Kissing Cousins, we had Viva Las Vegas. That's on EP, which I'll show later. Next is Roustabout. Again, this is the original mono pressing of Roustabout. RD 7678. RD 7678. Love the movie, love the soundtrack to Roustabout. Roustabout peaked at #12 in the United Kingdom. So when you are talking about the soundtrack albums and his studio albums from the 1960s, this is the first album, as far as I can see, that did not peak inside the top 10 in the United Kingdom. But I love everything about the movie and the soundtrack. Roustabout, the original mono pressing. I've got a second copy. And again, this has a catalogue number of PL 42356. PL 42356. This is in stereo. We're now going on to the 1964 movie Girl Happy. I absolutely adore Girl Happy while he takes a drink. Such a fun movie, Girl Happy, and a great soundtrack. Now, the copy I have here is in stereo, and it has a catalogue number of 443029. Girl Happy peaked at number 7 in the United Kingdom. Girl Happy, great movie, great soundtrack. The next one I've got of Girl Happy is on the Friday Music label. Absolutely stunning. The Friday Music label, it's absolutely stunning copy this is. The catalogue number is FRM 3338. FRM 3338. Girl Happy, number 7 in the United Kingdom. And then we're going on to Flaming Star and Summer Kisses. This was a 1965 album and it peaked at number 11 in the United Kingdom. A rare album indeed to own if you are fortunate enough to have it. It's in mono. As you can see on the back, mono. I love everything about this album. We have the catalogue number of RD7723, Flaming Star and Summer Kisses. Sorry. We're then going on to Tickle Me. Now, Tickle Me obviously was originally an EP, but I've added this to my collection because I absolutely love this movie and soundtrack. And Tickle Me, again, I think this is a 1965 movie, as far as I can remember, but this is the Follow That Dream release of Tickle Me. Really expensive and quite rare now, this copy of Tickle Me. We have a catalogue number of 506020975149. I don't have any information about any chart position in the UK for Tickle Me because it wasn't released as an album. We're then going on to, where was I? We're going on to the 1965 album Elvis for Everyone. This had 2 front covers. This is my preferred front cover. I don't own the other copy where there's a different front cover. I am on the hunt. I've got 2 copies of this album. Let me just, there you go. They're exactly this. I'm hoping, there you go. There's the same album, front and back. So this is the original mono pressing of Elvis for Everyone, RD7752. I love everything about that front cover and I love the album as well. Elvis for Everyone peaked at number 8 in the United Kingdom. There we go. Now we're going on to the 1965 movie Harem Holiday, otherwise known as Harum Scarum. And again, the top copy here is the original copy in mono, catalogue number RD7767. Let me take that one out for you because I've got 2 copies here. So that's the original mono pressing on the back. And then I've got a second copy. Here you go. And this is catalogue number INTS 5035. Now, Harum Holiday or Harum Scarum peaked at number 11 in the United Kingdom albums chart. Harum Holiday. We're now going on to the 1966 movie Frankie and Johnny. Frankie and Johnny here. I've got 2 copies. The top copy has a catalogue number of 461024. There we go, that's the top copy. And the next copy here is on the RCA International label, NL82559. Frankie and Johnny, it's probably, for me, one of his weakest films and soundtracks. Frankie and Johnny peaked at number 11 in the United Kingdom in 1966. We are going on to the 1966 movie Paradise Hawaiian Style. So the top copy I've got here is the original mono pressing. I think I've got 2 copies. Yeah, I've got 2 copies. I hope, there you go, you can see them there. They're the same copy. And they have a catalogue number of RD7810. On the reverse. Now, Paradise Hawaiian Style peaked at number 5 in the United Kingdom. Quite shocked at that. But again, I really do enjoy the soundtrack to Paradise Hawaiian Style. And I do think it's a movie that's watchable. The next copy of Paradise Hawaiian Style I have is in stereo, and we have a catalogue number, and this is from the United States of America, LSP 3643. There we go. Now, the next movie we're going on to is another 1966 movie, Spin Out, otherwise renamed in the United Kingdom, California Holiday. On the reverse, I do have an EP of this as well. So, California Holiday, was there any information? Let me just double check my notes, guys. California Holiday, where did I get up to? Yeah, I've got it here. This peaked at number 17 in the United Kingdom. I've got 2 copies. I think they're the same. Yes, they are. It has a catalogue number of INTS 5038. I do have the EP for this as well, which I will share with you, as I said, nearer the end. We then are going on to his gospel album from 1967, How Great Thou Art. This here is in stereo. It has a catalogue number of SF7867. SF7867. There we go. Oh, love that gospel album. I've got a second copy. Here we go. This is from the United States of America. This one has a catalogue number of, when I can find it for you all, he says, I am sorry, AQL1 3758. This is in stereo. How Great Thou Art. And that peaked at number 11. Now, I'm quite shocked at that. I think How Great Thou Art should have easily been a top 5 placing in the United Kingdom, but just missed the top 10 albums chart in the UK, peaking at number 11. Next, we're going on to, by far, one of my, well, it is my least favourite Elvis Presley movie and soundtrack. I've got 3 copies of the same album, believe it or not, but we're going on to Double Trouble. You can see, I hope you can see, I've got 3 copies, but it is the same album, same catalogue numbers. Now, Double Trouble, again, as I was saying, is personally not a favourite of mine. And we have a catalogue number of INTS 5039 in the United Kingdom, peaked at number 34. So this is the first Elvis Presley album from the 1960s that did not reach the top 20, not even reaching the top 30. 34, Double Trouble. Then going on to, it's a movie, again, I'm not overly keen on, but I don't mind the soundtrack. It's Clambake. Again, this is the original mono pressing of Clambake. RD7917. RD7917. There we go. And Clambake, that's even worse. It only just reached the top 40, peak of number 39 in the UK albums chart. Clambake. I've got the second copy of Clambake on, I've got 2 copies in here, I think, and it's the same one, I believe. Yes, it is. This is INTS 5040. There we go. I've got 2 copies inside that plastic sleeve of Clambake. Next, we're going on to the 1968 movie Speedway. So this one here is the original mono pressing of Speedway. Now, you all know this is one of my favourite soundtrack albums and favourite soundtrack covers. I love everything about Speedway. And and I've got about 7 different copies of Speedway, I believe, but I'm going to share 2 with you. So as I said, this is the original UK mono pressing, RD7957. There we go, front and back. Speedway did not even reach the UK albums chart. His first soundtrack album that didn't even reach the chart. And this is the second copy. And this is from, I think it's the United States of America. And it has a catalogue number of AFL1 3989. There we go. And after Speedway, we're going on to the Elvis NBC TV special album. Absolutely love the concept design of that album. That massive lighting behind Elvis spelling out his name and Elvis singing If I Can Dream. It's beautiful. On the back, 6 more great images of Elvis there at the TV special. This peaked at number 2 in the United Kingdom. Again, wish this would have been a number 1, but getting Elvis nearer to the top of the charts. The catalogue number, when you can find, oh God, it's really, that's quite difficult to read. Let me try my best. PL42370. PL42370. Elvis NBC TV special album. Then we're going on to From Elvis in Memphis from 1969. I've got 2 different copies. This is an import from Germany. Now, from Elvis in Memphis back to number 1 for Elvis in the United Kingdom. As I said, the copy here I've got is a German copy, LSP 4155D. LSP 4155D. Different back cover there. Love that copy. Next, as I said, is a second copy, and this is from the United States of America. This is quite a recent addition to my collection. Again, a very different back cover. The catalogue number on this copy is LSP 4155. Back to number 1 in the United Kingdom. Now, the last albums I've got to share with you, I couldn't find any UK chart position for it. If anyone can help on this, please share in the comments below, because I've gone online and I'm manically searching for the chart positions for these 2 albums. Elvis in Person at the International Hotel, Las Vegas, Nevada, coupled with Elvis Back in Memphis. So again, we had Back in Memphis as a 1969 album, with the 1969 album Elvis in Person. Now, again, let me try, the catalogue number is, I think it's inside. Let me get that catalogue number for you. I did share this the other day. SF808081. So again, I have no chart position information whatsoever on this release from 1969. If anyone could find out any more information, please help me in the comments below. I know this was also released as a standalone album, I believe, wasn't it? But again, can't find any information about chart position, so please help me on that one. So they were the albums that were released from Elvis Presley in the 1960s. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in order. I think he says, right, have I got these in order? If I don't, I do apologise. So I'm now going on to the E.Ps. So from 1962, we have Kid Galahad EP. So again, Kid Galahad, I can't find out any information about chart positions for any of these EPs, but I'm not overly too fussed about that, but wanted to share these EPs with you. This has a catalogue number of, it's in mono, RCX7106. Absolutely beautiful. I love that movie, Kid Galahad. Next, we're going on to Love in Las Vegas, which it was renamed in the United Kingdom, but Viva Las Vegas. This is in mono as well. RCX7141. RCX7141. On the back. And then we've got the EP for Tickle Me, again in mono. I love that image of Elvis on the front there. I really do. I love that jacket he's wearing as well. And again, this is in mono. And the catalogue number on this is RCX7173. The next one I'm going to share with you is for California Holiday, otherwise known as Spin Out. This is an Australian import, and it has a catalogue number of 45EP20439. I love this import from Australia of California Holiday, otherwise known as Spin Out. And the final one I'm going to share with you, Easy Come, Easy Go. Again, I do believe this is, yeah, it's in mono. We have a catalogue number of RCX7187. I love this front cover as well. I think it's it's well designed, this front cover. I love it. And on the reverse, there we go. So they are the EPs from my collection that I wanted to share with you from the 1960s. Again, I've given you as many chart positions as I possibly can from the United Kingdom official charts company albums chart for Elvis Presley's 1960s albums. The ones I need help with are the last two, Back in Memphis, Elvis in Person. I can't find any chart position information for the EPs because obviously I don't know if they did reach any chart positions at all. So again, you know, thank you for returning to my channel today. I really wanted to get that upload out of the way and talk about Elvis Presley's UK albums discography from the 1960s. Now, before I sign out from this upload, I'm going to talk about my favourite studio album and then probably talk about my favourite soundtrack album. So from the from the studio albums, it's a very difficult choice because I love Elvis Is Back. Absolutely think that is a great album. Elvis coming home from the army. I just think it's such a well put together album. But sorry, I am going to have to go for, though, Back in Memphis. I absolutely love Back in Memphis. So that kind of is my favourite album from the 1960s of Elvis, studio album wise. Now, gospel album, I'm going to go for How Great Thou Art over His Hand in Mine, because I listen to How Great Thou Art more than His Hand in Mine. And out of the soundtrack albums, now I am probably Blue Hawaii means so much to me. But again, you know, one of my favourite soundtrack albums is, well, it's not an album. Again, it was released on an EP, I believe, and I don't own it, and that was to the movie Live a Little, Love a Little. I absolutely love the soundtrack to Live a Little, Love a Little, and if that was a standalone album, I'd choose that all day long. So from an EP point of view, I don't have it in my collection, but I absolutely love the soundtrack to Live a Little, Love a Little. But out of the ones I've just shared, I keep on saying Blue Hawaii, but it's just such a great soundtrack album. But I also love Speedway. I love the soundtrack to Speedway as well. And I know I've had some comments before on Harem Scarum or Harem Holiday in the United Kingdom. I'm not overly keen on the movie, but I do enjoy the soundtrack, actually. And I do love the EP to Viva Las Vegas, but I'm going to stick my neck out here, guys. I am going to go for Live a Little, Love a Little as my favourite Elvis Presley movie soundtrack, even though it's not an album. And from the EPs, I am going to choose the EP for Loving Las Vegas, otherwise known as Viva Las Vegas. What shocks me the most on the UK chart positions? Not much, really. I think when it comes to, obviously, I'm looking at the chart facts in front of me. So going up to 1963, Elvis was consistently reaching the top half of the albums chart. And then the first time he only scraped in to the top 10 in the albums chart was the soundtrack to Fun in Acapulco, which peaked at number 9. And then obviously the 1964 album Roustabout was his first album, from what I can see, that did not reach the UK top 10 albums chart. But then the follow-on soundtracks, again, got him back into the top 10. But then you're going back to the soundtrack albums, like you go back to, I mean, Elvis for Everyone, you know, that's a great album, peaking at number 8. I think that could have done better. Girl Happy, number 7, really shocked at that. It's a great album, great soundtrack, but again, really happy it peaked at that. I mean, Paradise Hawaiian Style peaking at number 5. I'm really shocked at that as well, because I think when it come around to 65, 66, 67, Elvis was just not performing. His albums weren't doing anything. So I was really shocked at Paradise Hawaiian Style peaking at number 5. Now, Spin Out, you know, California Holiday, named in the UK, peaking at number 17. You can understand why. I think it's quite I don't mind the soundtrack, but it's not one of the strongest soundtracks, is it? But then you're going on to Double Trouble. For me, for me, it is his weakest movie. And I'm not overly keen on the soundtrack. I like the bonus songs from Double Trouble, but peaking at number 34. You can understand why. Clambake, again, 1967, his albums weren't doing anything at all, just scraping into the top 40. You know, that's quite embarrassing for Elvis, I would assume. I mean, RCA must have been pulling their hair out thinking, you know, why on earth has it only scraped in at number 39? And Speedway not even reaching the UK top 40 albums chart, not even entering the chart albums chart at all. So again, I think that is why things had to happen, and quickly, in Elvis's career. And then obviously you're talking about the NBC TV special, number 2, should have been a number 1. And then obviously from Elvis in Memphis, number 1. So Elvis, again, started the 1960s. Elvis is back at number 1, and he ended the 1960s, from what I can see from Elvis in Memphis, back at number 1. Again, thank you for taking the time out to return to my channel today. Really do appreciate you supporting the 100% Pure Elvis channel. As always, please keep Elvis close to your hearts. Please keep on playing his music. Lots of love, everybody. And please come and follow me over on TikTok, 100 Pure Elvis. I also have a Facebook group, which I have renamed. That's the way it is, Elvis Presley fans. I got one of my subscribers that has asked me, that I said he can't find it. So go to Facebook, type in the search bar at the top. That's the way, Elvis Presley, and then there's groups. Click on the groups and you'll see a lot of Elvis Presley groups, and mine will be in there. Or just type in, that's the way it is, Elvis Presley fans, you will find me. So again, thank you for taking the time out to watch this upload today. I hope you enjoyed it. Speak soon, everybody. Bye-bye.